gmna uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good morning, Montreal. I'm Lauren Dupuis. Police are intensifying the search for a missing man at Verdun Beach, while the city gears up for the World Road Cycling Championships this September. Traffic is clear, and Lachine residents are being asked to cut water use. Over to you, Ryan.
Montreal defeated Toronto at home opening game, with Davis Alexander scoring 2 touchdowns and Micah all blocking a punt.
The blocked punt led to a late score that secured the victory for Montreal in the final minutes.
Montreal's home opener ended with a win over Toronto, improving their early season record to 1 victory.
All right, let's get into it. The headlines for today start with the community rally to save Villa Maria College. Good morning, Montreal. Here's the news you need to know as you start your day, from rising traffic to tomorrow's weather and the latest local developments. Montreal police and firefighters are conducting a coordinated search on Verdun Beach after a young man was reported missing Friday evening, June 12. The missing individual, identified as a single adult male, was last seen in the popular beach area near the shoreline. Responders deployed a team of officers, fire crews, specialized equipment, aerial units, and K-9 teams to sweep the sand, dunes, and adjacent water. Sections of the shoreline have been temporarily closed to the public, while the operation continues through the night. Authorities are monitoring the area for any sign of the individual. Officials have not released further details about the circumstances of the disappearance. The search follows standard protocol for missing person incidents in the province and is being managed by the Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal. Agencies remain focused on locating the man as quickly as possible.
Artists in the Mile X neighborhood are sounding the alarm today over a redevelopment proposal that targets the iconic 435 Beaubien Avenue West building. The red brick former industrial structure, perched at the corner of Beaubien Avenue West and Duracher Street, has served as a hub for creative studios for many years. Community members say the plan would replace the historic space with new construction, threatening the continuity of the long-standing artist community. Representatives voiced concerns that the loss of the building would erase a vital cultural landmark in the area. The artists are urging municipal officials to revisit the proposal and explore options that preserve the studios. City officials have not yet confirmed a timeline for any demolition, but the proposal has already sparked protests among local creators who fear their workspaces could disappear.
Police officials announced today that 16 members of the city's police service are under investigation for alleged hateful and racist gestures. 2 officers have been suspended while the inquiry proceeds, and they could face criminal charges if the allegations are substantiated. The probe was launched after a series of complaints that certain officers engaged in discriminatory conduct during recent interactions. The Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal said the investigation will follow established protocols and involve internal affairs as well as external oversight bodies. No further details about the specific incidents have been released, but the department emphasized its commitment to transparency and to maintaining public confidence. City leaders have pledged to monitor the process closely and ensure accountability within the force. The inquiry continues as the force works to address the concerns raised by the community.
World elite cyclists will descend on the island next September as the city prepares to host the 2026 UCI Road World Championships. The 8-day competition runs from September 20th to 27th, putting the streets of the downtown core, the historic Old Port, and the slopes around Montreal under the global spotlight. Organizers say the event is just 100 days away, and they are already fine-tuning road closures, spectator zones, and a temporary finish line near the Bell Center. Thousands of fans from across the globe are expected to line the routes, while local businesses anticipate a boost in tourism and hospitality. The championships will showcase the island's blend of historic charm and modern infrastructure, offering riders a challenging mix of flat circuits and rolling climbs. The race will also feature a women's elite competition, highlighting the sport's growing diversity.
The city has launched a formal consultation to overhaul Avenue du Parc, a stretch long flagged as one of the island's most dangerous corridors. Officials say the plan will reshape the street to curb the series of fatal collisions that have claimed 13 lives in recent years. The initiative, announced this month, will gather input from residents, businesses, and transport experts, with a focus on adding protected bike lanes, upgraded crosswalks, and traffic calming measures. Municipal engineers will work with the police and the transit authority to model new designs before any construction begins. City leaders stressed that the redesign aims to restore safety for pedestrians, cyclists, and drivers alike, after a string of high-profile accidents drew public concern. The consultation period is set to run for several weeks, after which detailed plans will be presented for council approval. Later, we'll hear how community members are rallying to save Villa Maria College amid financial woes, plus more headlines. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a chance to stretch. Now let's turn to Ryan for the local stories that matter to you today.
Good morning. Villa Maria College, a historic institution in the Notre Dame de Grace neighborhood, is facing a financial crunch that could force it off its longtime campus. Thousands of local residents, parents, and alumni have organized a campaign to keep the school at its historic site, urging officials to find a solution before summer decisions are made. College administrators acknowledge the budget shortfalls and say any plan to retain the NDZHAY campus must first resolve those monetary challenges. The community effort includes petitions, public meetings, and outreach to former students, all aimed at demonstrating the school's value to neighborhood families. Officials have indicated that a final determination will be reached this summer, pending a viable financial strategy. The outcome will affect families who rely on the college's programs and the character of the NDZHAY area.
Police in the Halton region announced the arrest of 5 individuals from Quebec on June 12th as part of a broader effort to break a cross-border vehicle theft ring. The arrests follow an investigation that linked the suspects to more than 12 auto thefts across southwestern Ontario. Officers say a 6th suspect remains at large and is the focus of an ongoing search. The operation, coordinated by the Halton Regional Police Service, targets a multi-province network that has been stealing vehicles and moving them across the provincial border. Detectives emphasized that the coordinated arrests aim to disrupt the criminal enterprise and protect residents from further loss of property. The investigation continues as authorities work to locate the remaining individual believed to have participated in the thefts. The case adds to ongoing efforts by law enforcement to address cross-border criminal activity.
The Marcel Lemia Provincial Championship is heading outdoors this weekend in Salaberry de Valleyfield. Organizers have set up 20 brand new courts for the 2-day showdown on June 13th and 14th. Traditionally an indoor event, this year's tournament will be played entirely outside, weather permitting, giving players a chance to compete under the summer sky. Fans can watch the province's top pickleball talent swing paddles on fresh surfaces just a short drive from the city, and local vendors plan to be on hand for refreshments. The shift to open-air courts aims to showcase the sport's growing popularity while offering a community-friendly atmosphere. Spectators should bring sunscreen and a hat, as the schedule runs from early morning through late afternoon, with matches slated throughout both days. The event, recognized as Quebec's premier pickleball competition, draws families and casual players alike, turning the venue into a lively weekend hub.
Montreal will host 10 free concerts this week, as part of the 37th edition of the Francos de Montreal Festival. The series runs from June 12 through June 20, offering a range of francophone artists across the city's venues. Organizers say the free shows are designed to bring music lovers of all ages together and showcase the vibrant French-language scene that defines the annual event. Each concert is open to the public with no ticket cost, and schedules will be posted on the festival's website and local listings. The Francos de Montreal, now in its 37th year, continues its tradition of celebrating francophone music, drawing crowds to downtown streets, parks, and cultural centers throughout the 8-day program. The free performances will take place at venues such as Place des Arts, the Quartier des Spectacles, and several outdoor stages, giving residents and visitors easy access to live music without a price tag.
On June 11th, the city placed the Lachine borough on its water conservation vigilance list, prompting an immediate request for residents to cut potable water use. Officials explained that the water network cannot be isolated for the sector, so a full shutdown is not possible. The directive asks households to limit showers, laundry, and garden watering, aiming to keep the system stable while the broader municipal conservation campaign continues. City engineers said the measure is temporary but essential to prevent strain on supply lines already under pressure. Neighbors in Lachine are being reminded that even small reductions, such as turning off taps while brushing teeth, can add up. The alert follows weeks of citywide appeals for lower consumption, and authorities will monitor usage throughout the month to assess whether the heightened vigilance can be lifted.
Now let's turn to our weather team for today's outlook, right here on the local sunrise.
A bright start to your Saturday with a look at Montreal's weather and what to expect. On this day in 2020, when Montreal sweltered to a record high of 28.8 degrees, a blistering mark set during an early summer heat wave that pushed many neighborhoods into the shade. Just a year later, in 2020, the city recorded a chilly low of 7.2 degrees, a surprising dip that arrived with an unseasonal cold front sweeping the province. By contrast, the climate normal for June 13th hovers around 22 degrees maximum and 15 degrees minimum, reminding us how today's temperatures sit comfortably between those extremes. It is currently 20 degrees with a clear sky, humidity 71%, and a gentle breeze of 12 kilometers per hour. By 9 a.m., the temperature nudges up to 21 degrees, still bright and cloud-free. Around noon, the mercury climbs to 25 degrees, perfect for a midday stroll. In the early afternoon, a partly cloudy spell brings a high of 27 degrees, and the UV index rises to 7, so a hat and sunscreen are wise. The wind will peak at 27 kilometers per hour from the southwest, adding a fresh feel. By early evening, clouds thicken and a light rain arrives around 7 p.m., bringing the temperature down to 26 degrees. No weather alerts are in effect, and we now turn to the 5-day outlook. Looking ahead, Sunday brings an overcast day with a high of 21 degrees and a low of 15, and the clouds will hold a 95% chance of rain, so keep an umbrella handy. Monday clears up nicely, offering a gentle high of 20 degrees and a cool low of 13 under a bright sky, ideal for outdoor plans. Tuesday stays mostly clear, warming to 22 degrees at its peak and dipping to 14 at night, perfect for a relaxed weekend outing. Wednesday returns to overcast with a high of 25 and a low of 15, hinting at lingering moisture but no measurable rain. Finally, Thursday brings rain with an 85% chance, a high of 20 degrees and a low of 16, so a light jacket and raincoat will serve you well. Stay comfortable as the week shifts.
Traffic's clear, Alouette kick off the season with a win, and Intel to Talent Canada shines in our chamber spotlight. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Morning commuters, the biggest story today is the partial closure on Highway 13 in La Ville. Work continues through the fall, leaving one lane closed at the St. Denis interchange. Expect a steady queue of about 15 minutes during the morning rush, especially near the exit to Autoroute 15. Drivers can stay in the right lane and follow the posted signs to avoid bottlenecks. Elsewhere, traffic is flowing smoothly. The Ville-Marie Tunnel, Boulevard St. Laurent, and the downtown core are clear. Drivers on the south side might want to shift onto Boulevard René Lévesque for a smoother ride. If you're heading into the island, you should see green lights and open lanes all the way to the airport. Transit runs on schedule with no reported delays on the metro or bus lines. The afternoon commute should stay light, though keep an eye on any last-minute updates near the highway work zone. That's the traffic picture for now.
There are no verified listings available for today's segment. And now here's Tyler with sports.
Local teams making noise on the field and in the award room. The Montreal Alouette opened their home schedule with a statement. Davis Alexander threw for 2 touchdowns Friday night, and Micah Oz blocked punt set up a late score as Montreal topped the Toronto Argonauts 37-30, according to Sportsnet. A big night for the Canadians off the ice. The NHL announced that Captain Nick Suzuki has won the Frank J. Selk Trophy, while teammate Cole Caulfield takes home the Lady Byng Trophy, 2 individual awards in one day for Montreal, per CBC Sports. The Canadiens' playoff run is over. Carolina's Logan Stankoven scored one of 3 first-period goals in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final, and the Hurricanes eliminated Montreal, advancing to the Stanley Cup Final. That report comes from CBC Sports.
Intel to Talent Canada, right in the heart of downtown Montreal, is turning a new page. The firm has teamed up with Glass Ratner to launch an executive search practice, expanding its talent acquisition services across tech, finance, and beyond. This partnership means fresh opportunities for local recruiters and new senior-level positions for Montreal professionals, reinforcing the city's growing reputation as a recruitment hub. By bringing high-caliber talent scouting to our streets, the collaboration fuels the neighborhood's economic pulse and supports the startups and established firms that call the city home. The practice will add full-time roles for local consultants, signaling confidence in Montreal's talent pipeline. It's a reminder that Montreal's strength lies in the people who connect ambition with opportunity. And coming up, we'll celebrate Franco's de Montreal's 37th edition, bringing 10 free concerts to the city's streets. Stay tuned.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From City Hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on GMna for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
On a crisp Saturday morning in the Plateau Mont-Royal, residents gathered at the corner of St. Laurent and Rachel Street, armed with brooms, paintbrushes, and a sense of purpose. Baker Marie-Claude set up a folding table with croissants and steaming café au lait, while her teenage son, Lucas, arranged a stack of reclaimed wooden pallets for the community garden that had been battered by last week's storms. As the first rays of sun filtered through maple leaves, volunteers laughed while sweeping away leaves, their hands moving in rhythm with the distant hum of a streetcar. A local artist, Anna, began sketching a mural on the blank brick wall of the former laundromat, her brush capturing the neighborhood's skyline in blues and golds. Children from the nearby school chased bubbles that floated above the garden, their giggles mixing with the scent of fresh paint. When the mural was unveiled, the whole block paused, eyes widening at the image of a thriving garden blooming over the storm-scarred wall, a reminder that even after the harshest weather, the community's spirit can grow stronger. We start our day knowing that together, we can turn any challenge into a sunrise.
On a crisp Saturday morning on St. Laurent Boulevard, the scent of fresh bagels drifted from a bustling cafe where families gathered around tiny tables, eyes glued to a tiny television perched on a corner shelf. In the crowd were the parents of Julian, Marie-Claire, and 3 of their teammates, young men who grew up kicking a ball on the cracked concrete of Parc du Mont-Royal and dreaming of a green jersey. When the announcer's voice announced that 6 players with Quebec roots had earned a place on Canada's 2026 World Cup roster, a ripple of cheers rose above the clink of coffee cups. The moment felt like a shared victory, as a grandfather lifted his grandson onto his shoulders, shouting the names of the hometown heroes, while a group of teenage girls in the back mimicked the celebratory chant they'd heard on the radio. It was more than a roster list. It was a reminder that the city's quiet streets and neighborhood parks have been shaping the nation's future on the world stage. In that instant, the pride of Montreal felt as bright as the sunrise over the St. Lawrence.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us this morning. Tonight's search on Verdun Beach reminded us how our community comes together in moments of uncertainty. Stay tuned for more stories tomorrow as we keep you informed and connected. Until then, I'm Lauren Dupuis, wishing you a bright sunrise.